Hello and welcome to the podcast from Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita, and today's episode 155. And we continue the conversation about the mistakes that maybe you are making that is hindering your stress levels. So today I want to talk specifically about avoiding stress and problems altogether. And now you're probably asking, what do you mean? How is this a mistake? It's not a mistake. I'm avoiding it. I'm not even getting there. I'm fine. I do have clients who not actually not clients. They're not even my clients because they don't think they have any stress. When I do speaking engagements and there's all like a networking event and it happens that I have to talk with someone and they want to kind of reflect into my presentation about stress. Have some people that say, I have no stress in my life. And I'm thinking, you're probably avoiding something in your life for sure. And it may look like it's a solution. It's like, well, I don't want to think about it, so may as well I'm just ignore it. Um, if you lived long enough, you probably already noticed that when you're ignoring the problems, they're not going away. They are probably multiplying. Especially problems that has to do with relationships, health, your finances. If you're not going to address them on time, it can get worse, much worse. So if you think that you're avoiding stress by looking at your credit card statement, or you are feel that in your body something is not right, but you're afraid to go to doctor to hear bad news and stress yourself more, you are actually doing worse for yourself. And it's like, yeah, well, it's easy for you to say. But I'm inviting you to really ask yourself why you don't want to address it. Why getting in any conflict is an issue for you. And going to a doctor and asking how are you doing, that's not even a conflict, right? Like it's just something stressful that you're like, I don't even want to do this. Ask yourself why. And just take time and be courageous enough to actually dig deep in the place where you don't even want to go. Because it can save you so much money, so it can save your relationship, can save you your life, let alone stress, if you actually will go deeper in this. And it could be that you are actually protecting yourself from disappointing other people. You don't want to even get in a conflict because you know that situation, you are afraid that you will not be able to solve it. So instead of asking for help, you're like, I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to ignore it and I'm not going to deal with that. See, the thing is, I'm a believer that we learn a lot of things in our childhood, and that's how we create our patterns. So ask yourself, is your family good with stress management or bad? How were those situations, stressful situations, like health, finances, whatever, were handled in your family? Because there are plenty of people who get in the conflict and stress and all of this, for example, about the money. So if your parents were always bickering over the money and about the credit cards and about statements and all of this, you naturally don't want to look at that because that associates you with being and feeling unsafe. But here's the key. You're an adult now and you do have a right and you're capable right now to take care of your own life and take care of your relationships, finances, your health, and everything. So ask yourself, really ask yourself, why is it you don't want to tackle those issues? And then start tackling. Obviously, you will need help from others, from coaches and therapists and specialists and all that. And if you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so stressful, I don't even want, I don't know, start small. But the first thing that's very important is to just take your time. And if you're feeling stressful, Like you ask yourself, like, okay, how am I feeling? This situation is stressing me out. What about the situation is stressing me out? Am I feeling comfortable actually to addressing this issue? Or is there's, are you good with addressing those issues? Then it's great. Then you don't need to stress about that. But most of the time, we do have some areas in our lives that there is something that we don't want to address because it's just, we don't want to cause more stress, especially if that involves other people. And if you already had those situations where you had enough courage and you said, you know what, I am going to address this issue, and you actually did it, I would love if you will leave me a comment below and share experiences and maybe give a tips that somebody else can read it and get inspiration and get, learn from your experience, because that's how we learn. We learn from each other, and that's how we get stronger. And then also at the same time, you will inspire somebody and they will know they're not alone. And if you're listening in and you're like, I don't know, you're not alone. Everybody has those some sort of issues. So find a way how to move away from this, because if you are just ignoring something, it's going to get worse. And the funny part is, the longer we wait, the harder it gets to really address it. But you can set a date and say, this is when I'm going to address this and ask for help. That's all that is. So if you like my video so far, give me a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber and listening this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, because as you know, the algorithm will push this video to somebody else who maybe will find it useful. And tomorrow I'll be talking another mistake that you may be making or maybe not. We'll find out.